Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and in today's video we are continuing on with the Dozen a Day Orange Book, Group 5. We're going to do two exercises today, exercises 9 and 10. The way the video is going to work is there's a little lesson on each exercise, and then a slow playthrough, and then a quick playthrough. So if you'd like to skip around in the video, please just use the timestamps in the description so you can go directly where you want to go. We'll start with number 9, deep knee bend. 3 concepts in this video. The first concept is the use of the pedal, and so you'll see a little line at the beginning. Well, that means start the pedal, and then whenever the pedal is to be switched, you're going to see an upside down V shape. And what that means is you're going to put your hands down and then your foot up and down. So if I'm playing the first measure, at the beginning we see the line, put the pedal down. And then on beat 3, that upside down beat, hands go down, foot goes up, down. The other thing besides getting used to the timing of the pedal is getting used to moving our hands during the pedal and maybe not holding the notes their full value so we can get to the next position. So the second concept is moves, moving from the center of the keyboard to the low part of the keyboard, and then switching positions on the top. This piece is in A major, so this brings us to concept number 3. A major, 3 sharps. She is exploring a very common music theory concept called primary chords. That's the 1, A major, the 4, D major, and the 5. And in this case, the 5/7 of the key. Now, she's not going to use all of the root positions that I just showed you with the name of the chord on the bottom, so A, D, E, but rather keep the positions close to each other. So this version of the A chord, which is root position, its name is on the bottom. Then this version of the D chord, the 4 chord, so second inversion in line 1. However, in line 2, she uses root position D. And there's a good reason for that, which I'll explain in the slow playthrough. And then finally, instead of using this version of the 5/7, she's using the more common version, which would be 3-note version of that chord, which is right next to this. This position is used very common in pieces and chord progressions. A couple of things I want to point out before the playthrough. In measure 2, the right hand has a little bit of a melody, so the right hand's going to have to move pretty quickly from this low A, which it's going down to, up to D, and then on beat 3, you're going to play those 2 notes, which are part of that A chord, with fingers 4 and 2. We're not going to play the full root position chord, we're just going to go down. And we have that again in measure 6. And then in measure 7, another little melody. Low note, and then no chord here. 5, 4, 3, 2. When the hands jump down, they're going to jump so they are an octave apart, and those octaves will be played with finger 5 in the left hand and finger 1 in the right hand. In terms of hand position, we're going to be using pretty much the full finger pads in this one. It's quarter notes, a little slower, deep knee bend. So I'm going to suggest a roll up, touch, trampoline back up, because we want to get in position for those chords so we can play them as beautifully as possible. So slow playthrough, let's go. We're going to start with the 1 chord, which is A major. It's also known as tonic, okay? Roll up, move down. This is going to stay in the same pedal, and you're going to play it quickly and go back up to that next chord. Fingering is 5, 2, 1, 1, 3, 5. Hands down, foot up, down. We're going to go down, back to that same note. Incidentally, that A is shared between the 1 chord and the 4 chord in all situations. The tonic is shared between 1 and 4. Okay, so we're going to go back up to the 1 chord, root position, hands down, foot up, down. Down here, keep that in the pedal, right hand's going to move really quickly, anchoring on that D there. Then left hand moves, we join for the A chord again. Hands down, foot up. Now, we're going to the 5 chord. E is still going to be the top note in the right hand. Left hand's just going to a 2-note chord, because look at this. It's all kind of clustered together. And our bottom note is going to change to E, because that is the root of the 5 chord. 5 in this case is E. So roll up, touch, move fast, back to A, 1 chord, tonic. Reaching down, notice the pedal here just holds. We have a little resting point in the music. Now, we're changing positions for the 4 chord from this second inversion, which is close to the root position tonic. We're going to go up here, root position 4 chord. And the bass note is also changing. So it elevates the music a little bit, makes it a little more interesting. So we have 4. Back up, hand down, foot up, down, down to D. We're going to trampoline back to A. Not that far of a distance when we're going like that. Hands down. And then that quick thing with the right hand again. 8th notes. 5/7 chord. Not that far. Now left hand comes right back up for those 2 notes. Right hand has a little melody here. Just a single note in the right hand, down, both hands up 2 octaves to finish. And you might remember that fermata from the previous exercise. That curved line with the dot means hold a little bit extra long. Okay, now for the playthrough at tempo, quite a bit more quickly. I'm going to lead with dynamics to measure 3 in the first line, because that's that 5/7 chord. And then similarly in the second line, I'm going to start a little bit louder because of that new position of the 4 chord, and then crescendo all the way to the end. The other thing I'm going to try to do is bring out the top note of my chords, so it's like a little melody. And I can do that easily by taking my right hand and just shifting from a straight position like this to a slightly more to the right position. You see a U shape here between my thumb and my first finger. That allows more weight to go into the top of the chord. So it's a little bit of an advanced concept, but I know you can do it. Quick playthrough. Ready? Go. Honestly, playing that quickly like that is more challenging than it might seem. So do your best. The other thing you can do, we're not going to do it here today in the lesson, is transpose this into different keys. Because it's a standard chord progression, what you would do is note the positions of all the chords to transpose it. I'll just do measure 1 for an example. We have root position A moving up to second inversion 4 chord. So if I was going to do that in C, I'd find a root position, 1 chord, moving up to second inversion 4. And then you can proceed through the piece like that. A great exercise is to be able to play this in every key. But let's move on. Number 10, Leapfrog. Again, super descriptive title. We absolutely love playing this one in lessons. And all it is really is just getting used to the hands playing on top of each other. There's so much repertoire that has one hand underneath the other, playing white keys, playing black keys, and this is just practice for that. So 2 concepts, all right? So concept 1 is just moving around the keyboard. In terms of sitting, see if you can do that by just leaning versus scooting over and taking a bunch of time to do that. So in order to find out if that's possible, what we can do is find our first position, which is on F2, and we can then find our our top position. I think that is very possible to do with just getting seated. Then concept 2 is just getting comfortable with the right hand playing underneath and then the left hand rolling through triplet subdivision, 1 and 2 and so 3 notes in one beat. Why is that important? Because when we're counting in the left hand, you'll see a quarter rest, then the triplet, then a half rest. So as you're counting through those rests, you must feel the triplet subdivision, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and all right. Fingering for the left hand, the crossover hand, is going to be 5-3-2. The reason we're not doing 5-3-1 is because that causes too much clashing between the hands if they're straight like this. If the left hand's a little bit over like that and the thumb's not in the picture, then it doesn't fight so much with the right hand. Okay, so 5-3-2 feels a little bit unconventional. And the only other concept I want to draw your attention to is the switching of the clefs. The clefs, bass clef, treble clef, are just a simple way to organize the notes we're reading on the keyboard. So generally, you're going to have the treble clef for middle C and higher, and generally you're going to have the bass clef for middle C and lower. And many people think treble clef means only right hand and bass clef means only left hand. That is not true. However, what is true is that the right hand generally plays in treble clef, the left hand generally plays in bass clef, but the hands are allowed to play in the other clef. So left hand can play all the way to the top note on the piano. It's the same with the right hand for going low. So let's look at those clefs really quickly. So both hands start in bass clef again for measure 2. Then both hands move to treble clef for 4 measures. We go up, we play that again, come back down, and then moving back to bass clef, and then the right hand ends by itself. Which draws me to another point, which would be a good idea to do before doing the playthrough. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to just go through and find our positions. So we're going to play the first chord in the right hand with the left hand chord on top of it. So the 3 notes, instead of playing them one at a time, we're going to play them as a block. And then we're just going to move up the piano and find those positions and do what I call anchoring. When you find an anchor, you find the next position with the help of those black keys. So the anchor for the right hand is going to be to the left of the black keys. So we're going to anchor our thumb to the left of the group of 3 black keys. Left hand is anchored on the bottom note of the 3 black keys and the top note of the 2 black keys. So let's find the positions. F major chord, F sharp major on top of it. Oh, wow. Next one. We'll do 4 of those. Back down. Slow playthrough. Move quickly the left hand to the next position. Right hand is kind of memorizing the distance of an octave with all of those chords. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and treble clef. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3. Left hand's moving quickly, so you only have to think about one thing at a time. 2, the 4 and back down. 2 and 3 and 4. Roll up on all those chords. Find the position down here. And then just the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now play through at tempo. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've completed exercises 9 and 10 in the Dozen a Day Group 5, so I hope you found that helpful. Please practice slowly until you get the concept, and then you can build your speed, all right? If you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Share it with others who you think might enjoy this detailed style of piano teaching. You can also mention my channel in your social media, and you can even send me a donation to the channel for creation of more content like this. You can do that through PayPal, or you can even do it right here on YouTube on the Super Thanks button. If you're looking at the screen, you'll see things like save, share, etc. If you click on the 3 dots, you'll see something called thanks, and that is a donation that goes directly to the channel, which I appreciate. Some of you have sent some in this week. Very appreciated. And finally, if you've watched my videos before, you know I love to know where you're from. Please leave that for me in the comments, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, thank you for watching.